Okay, so here's our video for assignment 2 on features and parts. So we're going to access this document, and then we're going to go ahead and just make a copy of it, name it whatever you want. And then as we kind of notice this piece, if we look at it, we'll see that that whole piece was kind of mirrored. But up here on the top view, right, we have this mirror, but they only gave us 1/2 of it. So we are going to have to be doing the mirror tool. So we want to look at what do we still need to be doing. So we need, and especially if I kind of look back here, is we need this top cutout. We need these holes on top. We need these holes on front. But we actually, this is the one I forgot about. We need these little rounded fillets on those edges. So we need to do all of those. So this first view is from the top view. So I'm going to start there. And so I'm going to sketch on the top view. It won't let me sketch here, but it will let me sketch up here on that top view. So I'm going to right click, go view normal to where we can hit the letter N. I'm going to start off with just the line tool. I'm not going to try to put it right here because it won't allow me to put it right there. So I'm just going to kind of put it wherever and go out, make a line, and then make another line. And I'm going to try to make sure that these are lined up. That'll help me out later. If they're not lined up, we can always use the vertical tool later. But if I get them lined up, that's already taking care of the vertical tool. Now I'm going to choose my 3-point arc. Now be very careful on this. Do not lock it in tangent. Okay, if you lock it in tangent right there, see how it turns orange? You're going to get this wrong. You want to actually make this a little bit bigger, right? It is not tangent. See how it kind of makes that little angle there? Whereas when we look at here, that's definitely not tangent. So if you put it as a tangent, you're going to get it marked wrong. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get these points. I'm going to hit escape. I want these points to be on that line. And it wouldn't let me do that earlier, which is why I took them off the line. I'm going to pick coincident. I'm going to click on the point, click on this line, and now they both went onto the line. If you hadn't lined them up vertically, you would have needed to do the other one, point in the line. Same thing here. If these two guys aren't lined up vertically, you'll need to go to vertical and you'll need to click those 2 points. I'm not going to because mine already are. So now we'll add in our dimensions. From here to here, that middle was 18. Then from the top to the top is 11. You're not going to need to put in the bottom and the bottom because it's already going to be forced. So you don't need to put the 11 on the bottom. It's already forced there. And then we had for the circle, the center is 73 and the radius is 12. So from the center to the edge is 73 and the radius is 12. Now if this happens, that sometimes happens, just hit escape and just click and hold and drag this guy. So you can try to get on the other side. Yeah, that kind of got a little messed up. So if that happens, you can always just delete this guy and redo it. Sometimes it happens. Just delete it and redo it. I'm try to make it over here. And maybe what I'll do is maybe I'll dimension the radius first this time. And then now I'll dimension the 73. So sometimes that happens, and just redoing it is the best way to do it. Okay, now don't do this. I just want to show you something. Is if I go and I try to extrude this right now, it won't let me pick anything, and it's because I didn't close this shape. So we have most of the shape, but I forgot to make that little line there. So before you finish this sketch, make sure that you add a line closing the shape from that point to that point. Okay, now we can go ahead and finish the sketch. Go to our isometric view and extrude this. We're going to want to extrude it by removing material all the way through. So now we have that guy. Next one is going to be to create maybe the hole on top. Since I'm still in the top view, this hole. And so this is a point that's 20 away from the top, 109 away from the right. So I'm going to start another sketch on our top view. Go normal to, and use the point tool. Now, if you get it lined up here with the center, you don't need that 20. Right? Like if I try to put in the 20, it'll actually gray itself out, right? Because I don't need it. So if you get it lined up, you don't need that. You only need the 109 away from the left side. So make sure that's level, 109. And now that point's fully defined. I'm going to finish the sketch, go back to my isometric view, and we're going to use the hole tool. And this hole here was, they told us it's a counterbore, ANSI inches, a clearance type, number 8 with a blind depth. So I'm going to change, if I was on simple, I'm going to change it over to counterbore. If I was on through all, whatever, I need to change that to blind. Make sure I change, if I was on custom, change that over to ANSI. Make sure it says clearance. And then choose for my size, number 8. And for my fit, I actually don't want it to be on free. I want it to just be on normal. So change your fit to normal. Okay, and then the depth is this bottom one is 20. It's already there. All of these are what they should be. So go ahead and hit the check mark. Now the next thing we're going to do is, now that I've kind of finished the top view, we're going to move on to the front view. I'm going to add these 2 circles, these 2 holes. So I'm going to start a sketch on the front view, view normal to, and just make 2 circles pretty quickly. The first one is radius or diameter 12. The second one is diameter 14. 12, and then another one, 14. Make sure that you're not seeing any orange. Oops. Right when you're creating those circles, because that would center it with something. We don't want that. Then it says the first one is 14 from the bottom and 18 from the side. I'm going to dimension this 14 from the bottom and then 18 from the side. And there's that one black fully defined. The next one is 18 from the bottom and 50 from the side. So 18 from the bottom. Oops, not 8. And then 50 from the side. Now I'm just doing these as circles and not as holes. So since we made them as circles, instead of using the hole tool, it didn't tell us that they were some type of hole. I'm just going to use the extrude tool. Right? When I extrude a circle, it does become a hole. So we're going to remove material all the way through. Now the last part is the part that I actually forgot about the first time. Okay? And that is, I didn't see this little rounded edge. It says 8 by 7.5. Now, right now I only have half of it, so it's just going to be 4. But I'm going to go to fillet, and I want to fillet all of these corners and change that to 7.5. I think I just clicked chamfer by mistake. Make sure you're on fillet. Right, so it should be rounded. And we want that to be 7.5. Right, so we're going to go ahead and finish that sketch. And now if I go back to isometric, this is what the first half of the piece looks like. We're going to go ahead and choose our mirror. Click on the part. Part 1. Yeah, part 1. There we go, we have it. And then mirroring plane is just going to be that edge right there. Then we can go ahead and finish that. So this is totally finished. The last step, they asked us to make it copper, right? So not carbon steel, this time copper. And I think it starts off as aluminum, so we need to change this over to copper. Go ahead and finish that. Then we'll go to our display mask properties, and we get this answer here. And then we can go ahead and on our document, we can go to check answer 2572.915. Oops, 915. Check answer, and then congratulations, we got the right answer. So that's the assignment for this one for number 2. Let me know if you have any questions, but I think we should be good there.